Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of Bath. That, of course, is Shane Lorenz. How's it going?
It's going good, and thanks for having us again. We came on last year, and I really appreciate the segments.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about the summer so far for you guys. How are things going? And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, everything's gone really well. We've had our negatives, we've had our positives. We've lost, some kids here and there. Already lost one to injury prior to the season, which happens, unfortunately. But we've had great participation in our weight room again. And we kind of stepped that up even with middle school kids this year. We got high middle school numbers, so got the future looking pretty good right now.
okay. So what about this group is, you guys got into the playoffs last year and stuff like that, and you got some big wins early on, especially that
Yep.
big win week one against Chesaning. But really, coming into this season, what do you like about this group so far?
I mean, I feel like the past two seasons have made them pretty hungry, is the best way to put it. Um, you have senior group that it has a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent in that senior class, but they want to win. They want to continue what we've done the last 2 years and take it and continue to move forward. We went playoffs 2 years ago, lost first game against PW, made the playoffs last year, win a playoff game finally, the first time in a long time. And then, our kids are hungry to keep moving. So, do we have a great group of juniors? I got a good group of sophomores. We got one of our smallest classes as a freshman class. You got 25 to 30 total boys in that class.
Yeah.
So we're struggling for numbers, beyond that, but the eighth grade class coming in too is looking good. We have about 25 kids there, just in boys. So that's great.
Yeah. Okay, time to talk about the team and the returners that you have, returners and names to watch coming back. We'll
Yep.
start with the offense, the defense, and then we'll go to special teams.
Yeah, actually, with our offense, we're returning four of our five starters on the offensive line. So we are gonna have a strength there. We're kind of flipping around our center. Our center's a little bit bigger than he should be. He's about 6'4", so we're trying to make him into a tackle. But he's always been so consistent at center. So we're kind of bopping people around a little bit, but four of our five starters are right there. We're returning six starters on offense. Some of the new parts will be a little more receiver heavy this year, I think. Even though we're going to be able to run the football, we have a much bigger running back. So you guys remember Bradley Allman from last year. He kind of carried our team, but our running back is now a heavy lifter. He's 180 pounds. He's much stronger. He also is an all-state wrestler. So we got a tough kid back in the backfield that will help carry the load.
Yeah. Receivers wise, where are we at
Yeah,
there?
so kind of returning here. So my two tackles, Jacob Kuhn and Braden Teachworth are back. James Gossett at guard and Keegan Hunt at guard. And Latimer Jones is going to be the kid kind of picking up the pieces. He'll be the center and a defensive tackle for us. Nolan Rowley is going to be the running back. We're going to have a pretty heavy centric senior team, especially across that line. Jake Chrysler is going to be taking over quarterback. So he's going to be a big name for us this year. Not a very big kid, but just tough and can throw the football. He's a lefty, which is a little different for a couple people when you're preparing, but and then we're going to start Aiden Briggs and Aiden Wolf at the receivers position, and we got Ethan Wicks and Max DeLeon. We got kind of a plethora of receivers, and we got a junior that joined last year, hurt his knee when he was doing an open gym in basketball, but he's about a 6'5", 190 receiver. His name's Kelvin Smith, and he's had a really great summer as well.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the defense, Shane.
Well, obviously at Bath, you don't get really the luxury of having, 20 kids on offense, 20 kids on defense that are just going to switch. So a lot of the same names that I just said are going to be starting on defense. So James Gossett, he starts at guard for us. He'll be left guard this year. Is going to start at middle linebacker. He's going to be kind of our key of our defense. Braden Teachworth, he's a defensive end, and he's put in a lot of work. He's a very, very big kid for a defensive end. He's about 6'5", 200 to 210. He did get an offer from Alma, so he's having a great summer. Jacob Kuhn is going to go to the other side end. So we're going to look huge on the end. We're going to be 6'5" and 6'4" on the ends. And then we put a little bit of beef in the middle. You know, we did move up a sophomore. So Jaden Braska, really tough kid, another tough wrestler, going to play defensive tackle for us. You know, about 6', 240-pound kid. He's a good kid. He works really hard. So we have our pieces back. Nolan Raleigh again, Jay Chrysler, Ethan Wicks, Max DeLeon. We have all these pieces, Aiden Briggs, Aiden Wolf, where we can cycle and be pretty good and pretty competitive this year.
Okay. Special teams, what's that looking like?
Yeah, so we had a kicker that originally played soccer, but now he's just playing football. So we got Thomas Vang. He's coming out for the football team. He played with us a little bit last year, so he was our kicker. So we're returning him. We're still figuring out our punting position, not really sure, and kick returning. I mean, it kind of is just dependent. My quarterback typically he's the most positive in catching returns. I'm not going to do that. He also was our long snapper. Not doing that anymore. So we're going to have some changes along the special teams. But that's to be expected year to year. We lost about 8 or 7 seniors last year. Kids that have played 4 years of varsity, which is always tough to lose. But we're returning about 6 guys on each side of the ball.
Okay. Now, of course, you talked about all the kids. Now it's time to talk about the schedule. And of course, if you're not familiar, Bath plays in the CMAC. So I'll just go through the schedule right here. Of course, starting off August 29th, home against Chesaning.
Yep.
September 6th at Pewamo, Westphalia. September 13th at Potterville. September 20th, home against Fowler. September 27th at Perry. October 4th at Langsburg. October 11th, home against Saranac. October 18th, home against Dansville, and then finishing out the regular season, October 25th at Durant. So pretty good schedule. It's always a tough thing when you got Westphalia, you got Fowler, and of course, you're with the rivalry with Langsburg.
Right. I mean, our schedule this year is similar to last year. Obviously, we added Durant to the mix. With Perry joining the conference. So Perry's part of the CMAC now. But obviously that first game of the season is a big focus for us. Chesaning, very, very tough team, returning a ton of guys. We know the Florian kid is a fantastic runner. He's a big kid, he's strong. I got to give a lot of credit to their offensive line last year. They really wore us down, which made my kids even more hungry as far as lifting weights because they know what they're going against. So Chesaning is going to be a very, very good challenge, and we can't really look beyond them. But for me as a coach, I have to. And looking at the schedule, our first 4 weeks are just daunting. I mean, we're playing Chesaning, PW, Fowler in your first 4 weeks. So, we're going to try to do our best and come out scathe free, try to come out injury free. And win some games out of that.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the next few weeks going to look like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, so we start 2-a-days obviously on Monday. We don't do the Midnight Madness. I wish I could do that, but
are you talking about Monday, August 12th?
Yeah.
I should probably mention that today is August 2nd at time of recording.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. So Monday the 12th, we'll be out there. We got 10 days, whatever it is, 11 days. And our days we're gonna go out. We usually do between 4 and 7:30 and 4 and 8 o'clock at night. And we just get after it. A lot of this summer has been about implementing, getting ready for the season. Now it's about executing. Because obviously you're just in helmets the first 2 days and then you get your shoulder pads. You can't really do much. which is kind of funny. You're doing 2-a-days, but you can't really do much besides implement for those first 4 days. You can't hit. So, really, the next 4 days, what I'm looking for is who's going to step up, who's going to be this guy, the second guy. And, I'm really looking for my seniors to take full leadership and accountability through these next couple weeks.
Okay. Shane Lorenz, appreciate you as always for coming on, and best of luck to the Bees this coming season. And we'll have you on again sometime in the next few weeks, sometime during the year.
Sounds good. Thanks for having us.